Welcome to Turku in Finland, host country for the IIHF World Hockey Championship. It all begins today for Team Canada against Belarus. 2002 was a golden winter for Canadian hockey. Olympic gold in Salt Lake City. And then hopes were high that it would also be a golden spring at the World Championships. But maybe they went overboard, because after a fast start, the Canadians ran into a hot team. Peter Bondra and the upstarts from Slovakia, who shocked the world tournament, becoming eventual gold medalists. Last year's disappointment is the motivation for Team Canada in 2003. Last time they won gold at the Worlds, 1997, and that Team Canada captured the title in Finland. It all starts next, the Worlds on TSN. One of the annual rites of spring. Spring doesn't begin until the World Championship or the Stanley Cup playoffs, whatever.
And you got to hear the hockey music. Once the hockey music starts, Rod, I know I'm in business.
Terry Christmas here. I'm Rod Black. We've set up shop for the next couple of weeks. Welcome to the IIHF World Hockey Championships. Team Canada has been in a long drought for quite some time at this tournament. Let's tell you a little bit about what happens over the next couple of weeks. Today, Canada plays against Belarus. Tomorrow against Latvia. Preliminary round, top 3 teams in each pool advance. Qualification round after that, 2 groups with 6 teams each, and then you cross over, you eventually play for gold, which Canada wants to do. Canada in Group C, along with Sweden, basically a powerhouse in each group. And Slovakia is the defending gold medalist. They are in Group A. And in Turku, Finland, the men who will call the game, Gary Green and Dave Randorf.
Thanks a lot, Rod. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Turku, Finland, where they had light flurries here earlier today, but things have warmed up nicely. We're ready to go for Canada's first game of this World Hockey Championship against Belarus. These two met in the semifinals, surprisingly, at last year's Olympics. That was a one-sided game, and this could be as well.
Well, one would expect that, but from a coach's perspective, you get a little worried about games like this. You know your team doesn't necessarily get up emotionally as they would for playing against Finland or Sweden. But this Belarusian team has 14 players that played on that semifinal game in the Olympics, and they also have 9 players that have played professional hockey in North America. So I'm not so sure that they're going to be an easy pushover.
Ryan Smith of the Oilers wears the C for Canada once again. The alternates are Anson Carter and Chris Draper, and we're all ready to go in Finland. Rod?
Thanks, guys. Look at all the hats over there. Those fans are crazy already.
I can't wait to see Greener and Dave one of those hats. That's our next accomplishment.
What about Canada? They have not won, forget a gold, a medal since 1997, coming off a 6th place finish.
You had to bring that up just to tweak me, didn't you? Just to get me really ticked off and get it going.
Here.
This is not good. This is our sport, and we haven't won a medal. Talk to Coach Trotz. He says, this is the year they're bringing one home. Go to the bank, Trotz says.
We're going to talk about this Team Canada lineup, what kind of team they have at the World Championships when we come back. Stay with us as our coverage of the Worlds continues on TSN.
The 2003 World Hockey Championships on TSN are brought to you by Esso. At Esso, we're drivers too. By RBC Financial Group, supporting hockey dreams in your community from grassroots to Olympics. By Nike Hockey. Question what was with what could be.
Oh yeah, they're already jumping in Turku, Finland. Sweden playing today, and of course Canada, Belarus coming up. Good morning to everyone watching. A very, very early morning in Vancouver. Some of those people still celebrating a Canucks win, maybe just getting in right now, but welcome to our 2-week run here at the Worlds. Here's a look at Team Canada, Terry Crisp. In goal, expect Sean Burke to carry the load.
The big fella, beer on over to back him up. Luongo is going to get some action. You have to know it. Look at the young defensemen. Baumeister, Brewer, Dano, Jamie Heward forever today hanging in there. Rebbe, Steos, and I think you said Corey Cross is joining them.
Corey Cross is on his way to Team Canada, making his way here. But let's talk about Eric Brewer.
Oh, this guy I love, Rod. I mean, he hits you every which way. He stuffs you out of sight. When I watch this youngster play, I say every coach should be allowed to have one of these young guys on defense. He'll hit you every which way. He'll throw you over the boards, against the boards. And you know what else? He's smooth. He knows the net, and he can play. You think I like Eric Brewer a little bit? Oh, yes, I do.
And, of course, up front, a lot of people say one of the ways to win the World Championship is with some buzzsaw forwards.
And we got some. Briere can skate, Calder a mover. Anson Carter knows how to move on out there. Then you got the disturbers, Shane Doan and Chris Draper over there who do a lot of it. But this guy, Ryan Smith. Now, I was going to say to you earlier, Rod, he'd look good in a Nashville Predator jersey, but that's tampering, so I can't say it. So when he looks good in an Edmonton jersey, even better as captain of Team Canada over there. And if you ever talk to this young man, you know what he does on the ice, the stats he does. He is one of the nicest and best ambassadors you could have in hockey.
A few more players on their way. Corey Cross, Steve Reinprecht, also Steve Staios. Reinprecht and Cross didn't make it there, so Team Canada phoned up Switzerland and said, here, Jamie Hewitt, can you make your way up here?
Jamie, come on over, son. You've been around long enough. The one thing I do know about Jamie Hewitt is he's got a cannon. He can shoot it. But, Jamie, you have to hit the net.
All right, well, starting goalies today, guys who will know about some pucks flying towards the net. Of course, Sean Burke, longtime representative of Canada, Winter Olympics past, World Championships. And for Team Belarus, Terry, you can handle the pronunciation for Team Belarus.
For Team Belarus. Which one are we going with over there, by the way? I'd like to know.
Is.
Oh, yeah, Sergei Shabanov. Thanks a lot, eh? You throw this one at me. All the European names I get.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. The puck drop when we come back from Turku, Finland on TSN.
Dave Randolph and Gary Green with you as you take a look at Sean Burke. Canada will wear their white jerseys today against Team Belarus. Sean Burke playing in his 5th World Championship as Team Canada Greener looks to improve on their 6th place finish from a year ago.
Well, always getting started in your first game is a big challenge because, first of all, this team hasn't exactly had an opportunity to practice much. They did have an exhibition game in Latvia on Wednesday night, and they ended up winning 5-3, but some of the players weren't even there then. And there's still 2 players that are on their way. Reinprecht and Cross actually will be arriving this afternoon.
2 veterans coming in, which means Jamie Hewitt, as you heard in our pregame show, will get some shifts today as the 6th defenseman for Team Canada, and we are underway in Turku. We're glad you're with us today. Eric Brewer wearing number 2 and playing along the blue line with Steve Staios. A couple of Edmonton Oilers teammates dumping in. Not so bad. We've got our first stoppage in play, just 10 seconds in.
Well, Andy Murray will want to get his whole bench into the game very early, so they'll have quick shifts, probably 30 to 35-second shifts, and at the same time as getting their legs, they'll want to test Shabanov very early in this game.
2/3 of Detroit's grind line is out there for Canada. That's Maltby and Draper, along with number 19 for Canada, Shane Doan of the Phoenix Coyotes. As Belarus tries to gain the Canadian zone, Eric Brewer back of his net, being watched by number 71, Kaliushny. Eric Brewer in behind Burke is going to leave it for Draper, who's wearing one of the A's for Canada this year. To center ice, Draper in over the line, try to feed it to Maltby, who chases it into the corner. Draper helping out. He goes to the far side where Shane Doan lays the body, and Belarus clears the zone. This is Pankov for Belarus, taking a little check along the near boards from Steve Staios. Pankov still with it, banks it off the end boards. The Belarusian avoiding the check from Maltby there. And they center the puck, but that is cut off by Brewer, and Sean Burke is forced to cover up on a good shift by Belarus.
Well, that puck did. It just ended up going off of Brewer, and then Sean Burke was standing right there, was very quick to jump on that puck. Sean Burke's international experience has been one of the main reasons why he is here. He played for Andy Murray in '97 when they won the gold medal in Finland.
Oiler fans will be happy to see some reuniting of some old Oiler teammates. Anson Carter now plays for the Rangers, but he's out there with Comrie and Ryan Smith, the captain for Team Canada. Jay Bomeister and Craig Reve along the blue lines now. Anson Carter gets it over the line. They turn it over, and it's kept in by Reve. Reve steps up in the play. Carter's in front. They try a centering pass to Smith. It doesn't get there, and the net comes off its moorings as Smith gave it a bump.
So far, Canada has been able to carry the puck in, and it's something that they will try and do as much as possible. As you take a look at Craig Reve from the Montreal Canadiens, some people were a little surprised that Reve was added to Team Canada, but he had a good year with the Canadiens. He's a good, solid defenseman. In fact, played all 82 games for the Montreal Canadiens, has in fact played all 82 games the last 2 seasons. His first international experience.
Here's a line for Canada that has some offensive potential. Danny Heatley out there with Danielle Briere and Kyle Calder. Patrick Marleau's taking a shift with these guys. So Calder's not out there yet. Dandeneau is out there along the blue line with Jamie Heward. Back of the net, Briere tried the centering pass in for Patrick Marleau. There's a shot from Heatley, and Shabanov has to make his first save of the game, and Belarus gets it out. Here's Heward, who played in Europe this season. Last in the NHL with the Columbus Blue Jackets. Heatley trying to make a move on the Belarusian defenseman Kopat. Couldn't quite get around him. And they get it out with Matthew Dandeneau of the Detroit Red Wings chasing it all the way down the ice, where it will be icing.
Canada are going to want to try to keep Belarus to the outside as much as possible. They haven't yet started playing a hitting game, and I think more so Canada are just trying to kind of find their groove right now, and it will take them a while, in fact, before they can really get used to each other out there. Some players have played together.
John Horkoff's in there, so is Chris Kalanos. They came close, they get it back to the line. Steos wires one. Think he caught the base of the post. On the very short side of the net, some good pressure here. There's Kalanos. Back of the net for Canada. Good to see him back out on the ice. Kyle Calder lays the body in the corner, and it comes out to center.
Steos had a great shot there. Steos has had a really good season with the Edmonton Oilers. In fact, he was selected by his teammates as the most valuable defenseman for the Edmonton Oilers, and that is saying something.
He's a very popular player wherever he's been. You kind of have to wonder why he's played for as many NHL teams as he has.
Just settling into his own right now.
Oiler fans are hoping he settles into Edmonton for the foreseeable future. This is Kaliushny starting the breakout for Belarus. Number 32 is Dmitry Pankov. He tried to carry it over the line. That didn't work. Sergei Stav fires it in there for Belarus. And it's stopped back of the Team Canada net by Sean Burke.
Canada are able to have a controlled breakout. The Belarusians are just laying back and trying to trap.
Nice rush there by Reve. Gains center ice, fires it in where it's met near side by Draper. Here's Shane Doan along the far boards. Up and off the glass. Stoppage in play. And we'll take our first break, scoreless, here in Finland.
We're probably the last guys you want to see right now. We're going to try to get you back to Turku in just a few moments. Sabotage, we say. Somebody's fooling with this satellite, but we will get back to the game. Scoreless right now, Team Canada and Belarus.
And you know what? I'm not going up on the roof like I told you. and I got to tell you one thing. I like the idea. You were talking earlier, Rod, you and I, about the guys that did go over there and decided. And I like what Draper says from Detroit. You got to love what he says. You know what ticks me off when the guys say, oh, I'm tired. I want to go. I got to spend some time. I often ask these guys, if you'd have made it into the second round of playoffs, would you have been tired? Mm-hmm. Would you have been going somewhere else? No, and this is every year we run into this same beef.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Canada, again, last time a world goal was 1997. Many players have answered the call. Some do have legitimate excuses at this time of year. Let's go through the roster of those who have answered the call, including the guy who's in net right now, Sean Burke.
And you know what I like about the roster we have here, Rod, is the fact that we got a good blend of veterans and youngsters. Look at young Baumeister, Eric Brewer, Dandeneau. We can go talk. Steos is going to be a youngster coming along also. I like the blend that we're having. It bodes well for the future for our hockey club. Not just older guys or all young guys. They're putting a good blend in there.
Mm-hmm. And keep in mind, Corey Cross on his way. So too is Steve Reinprecht. And again, we talked about the forwards, and it's nice to see that they've resurrected that line from Edmonton. Now, I know Anson Carter is no longer with the Oilers, but they're back. And so I think we have our signal back. So we're going to go back to Finland. And once again, Dave Randorf and Gary Gray.
Thanks very much, Rod. We apologize for the technical difficulties, but we've got good news for you. It's 1-0 Canada on a goal by Ryan Smith. The assist to Mike Comrie, and they score again. Kyle Calder right in front. And is that waved off? Yes, it is. No goal.
I believe they're waving it off because Calder was standing in the crease and interfering with the goaltender, Shabanov. So Canada will just maintain their 1-goal lead, not a 2-goal lead. That goal by Ryan Smith was scored on a 5-on-3. Belarus getting themselves into some penalty difficulty. Here we can see Kyle Calder coming right into the blue paint and standing there, deflecting that puck in, but it was waved off for the man in the crease, as you could just hear.
The referee is from Switzerland. His name is Danny Kerman, and you heard the call, guy in the crease. That's the technical terminology, isn't it?
Well, in the National Hockey League, that would have been fine because it's no longer a situation in the NHL whereby you have the goal waved off unless you're interfering directly with the goaltender. And as you can see in that situation, Calder was not bumping into Shabanov, the goaltender. He was just strictly in the blue paint with both skates, in fact.
We all remember the growing pains the National Hockey League had when they tried to protect goaltenders. Power play is now over, so we're back at even strength, and it is 1-0 Canada, and here comes Belarus. It's Yesilov breaking in there. Yesilov trying to go wide on Rivet. That didn't work. Greg Rivet played him nicely, and Canada gets it out. Briere poked at the puck, couldn't gather it up. Rozolko reaching forward to the blue line. Jay Bouwmeester now with it for Canada. Lead pass for Marleau, takes a hit from Jurek. Kovalev as Belarus tentatively goes over the line. Rivet into his own corner, far side now, looking for Heatley. He couldn't gather in that pass. And that puck was knocked down with a high stick, so we have a face-off coming outside the line.
Heard Rod Black and Terry Chris talking about the difficulties Canada faces early in this tournament, gelling together, trying to get guys playing smoothly together and making sure the passes are on. There you see Shabanov having to attempt to make that save.
That was the goal by Ryan Smith.
But Ryan Smith was able to deflect that puck in, or I should put that rebound in, I should say, after it was shot from the point.
You didn't see Smith, you just saw his stick, and it wasn't a great look at the goal, but it was a shot from Comrie. Shabanov made the first save, and Smith had it easy as a shot whistles wide far side. So Ryan Smith has opened the scoring here. Hopefully we're all back and up and running from Turku. 14.5 minutes into the first period here. Canada's first game of the 2003 Worlds. Shane Doan keeps the puck in there, chases after it. Tarasenko with the first pass out of the Belarus zone. Here's Safilov now. Number 12 for Belarus. Loses control. Canada has it now. It's Jamie Heward. Long pass up to Mike Comrie. And it is great to see all the open ice being used here. I love watching the Worlds and international hockey every once in a while when you see things getting a little congested in the National Hockey League. It's nice to see the long passes when they click.
Well, you can definitely utilize the long pass. You also can utilize the abilities to carry the puck into the offensive zone more because of the difference in width here of the international ice surface. And Canada will try to take full advantage of that.
15 extra feet of width on the ice surface here. Ryan Smith knocks that one out of the air, has Comrie going towards the middle. Eric Brewer flips it right back in there. Into the corner it goes. Yesilov starts out for Belarus. He had Zadalonov with them. Bouncing shot handled by Sean Burke, who hasn't really been tested yet. Which is, I imagine, tough, Greener, on a goaltender the longer a game goes on in a situation like this.
But the key thing for Canada is the fact that they know they have a goaltender with lots of international experience. Your angles are different because of the width of the ice, but Sean Burke is just a master of international hockey, playing in the Olympics in '88 and '92, and of course his appearances with the World Championship have been numerous. 97, 89, 91, and of course playing for Canada when they won the gold medal here in Finland in 97.
That's
under
right.
coach Andy Murray.
Andy Murray was behind the bench. Sean Burke was in the pipes the last time Canada won it all right here in Finland. One of their 2 wins in the 90s. Belarus fires it in there in back of the net. Sean Burke handles that. There's a good hit on Rivet from Vladimir Siplikov. And Draper just lifts it out. Maltby, his Red Wing teammate, chasing after the Belarusian defenseman, gives him a bump along the inboards. Dandino steps up with Heward following up on the play, makes a move and dumps it in. Closing in on 3 minutes to go here in the first period. 1-0 Canada on a goal by Ryan Smith.
Jamie Heward's good at knowing the international game. He played for Geneva in the Swiss League this past season.
Has played with the Leafs, the Predators, the Islanders, and most recently the Columbus Blue Jackets. But you're right, he was over here this past season. And he's filling in, and here's a chance. It's Kovalev right in, and he fires it up and over the net. Andrei Kovalev coming close to tying this up. It remains 1-0 Canada.
There's the
More action from Finland coming your way, but in the meantime, welcome inside the SportsCenter newsroom. I'm Dan O'Toole. Next edition of SportsCenter coming your way at 11:30 p.m. Pacific, and actually that's Eastern time. And NHL action, Game 2, Mighty Ducks, Stars go to overtime. How about those Ducks still undefeated? They lead the series 2 games to none. Game 2, Lightning Devils. This one also going to overtime. Jamie Langerbrunner. First shot stop, but his persistence pays off. Devils win that one in OT. They're also leading the series 2 games to none. Royals and Jays at the Dome. Game tied at 6th and 9th. Ken Harvey. 3-run shot to center. Royals win. Royals win 9-6 the final. As mentioned, SportsCenter at 11:30 p.m. Eastern. NHL playoff highlights and reaction. NBA playoffs. NFL draft. Willie McGahee drafted in the first round by the Bills. Now more from the World Hockey Championships in Finland right after this.
Now there you see Mike Polino, assistant coach to Andy Murray, along with Barry Trotz and Rob Cookson. Mike Polino, a full-time employee of Canadian hockey, and has done an excellent job in his various coaching capacities with Canada, with the women's program and with the men's. He was part of the Olympic team, won gold last February, and also was the head coach of Team Canada that won the Spengler Cup.
Here comes Patrick Marleau snapping a shot, and Shabanov almost handcuffed on the play, makes a nice save. Shabanov wearing number 2, which you may think is odd, but not necessarily the case over here, is it, Greener?
Now, oftentimes goaltenders wear a variety of numbers, unlike in North America, where they tend to wear number 1 or number 30 or 35. 30 or 31, 35, those are the most popular numbers outside of number 1 in Canada, but different here.
Face-off won by Canada. Brewer fires it at the net. Big rebound, and it just rolls wide, and now they've scored. Danny Heatley at the far side of the net. Shabanov was looking for it, trying to cover up, but Heatley found it and tucked it home. And did well to stay out of the crease as well.
He did. I mean, there's a variety of ways that you can still have a goal scored by being somewhat in the crease. You just can't, as Calder was, have both feet standing in the crease, parked in the crease, and then score. But Danny Heatley was smart there. He was in the crease, then he pulled back out of it, and then was able to find that loose puck and just tap it in. And Danny Heatley had an outstanding rookie season in the National Hockey League, and he followed that up in his second year, this past year, with another great season, an even better season. 41 goals he scored this year. This guy right now offensively is hot. He's a great team leader for the Atlanta Thrashers.
It's hard to understand the accent of the PA announcer. I believe he said Steve Staios got the assist on that one. We'll get you the official scoring when it's made available to us immediately here, as Canada has opened up a 2-0 lead here in the first period, and they're on the move again. Anson Carter chasing after it. Carter in there against Vladimir Kopach. Comrie centers to Smith. He can't get the shot away. It's poked away by the Belarus goaltender. Here's Carter, far side. Comrie in front. Smith circling around, heads for the corner. No problem with these three knowing where each other is on the ice. Here's a chance, shot right on. there by Strakov, and Burke had to make a nice save.
At the same time, the three of them got caught up the ice, and that was a 3-on-2 for Belarus. They've got to make sure that they've got one man high when that line is out there, but they're sensing the abilities to score right now in that former Edmonton line. I say former because, of course, Anson Carter being traded to the New York Rangers this season. But they know how to get out into the open and look for each other.
Belarus with possession momentarily back of their own net, but some good forechecking here by Canada. That's Shane Doan bouncing off Makritsky, and Belarus comes out. That's Yesilov, number 77, trying to make a move on Bouwmeester, and he's tag teamed by Bouwmeester and Draper. 30 seconds remaining in the opening period for Canada. The 2003 Worlds, they're over the line again. Craig Rivet around the net, stepping up from his blue line position, looking for some help. Rivet circles back. Penalty coming up. It's going to go against Belarus here in the late stages of the first period. Power play coming up for Canada.
A number of Belarus's penalties right now are because they're about a step behind. Now, they're a decent skating team. They don't need to take the type of penalties that they have been taking in this first period. Canada, on the other hand, want to make sure that they maintain their discipline. There you see Craig Rivet just making the pivot and then being hauled down. Emil once again ends up going to the penalty box. That's his second trip in this first period.
That's right. Patrick Marleau in to take the face-off against Kaliushny, and Canada can't keep it in. Danny Heatley. Heatley with it. Very casual at his own blue line. Had to be careful. That was Siplikov that was watching him. Chris Kolanos reaching for it. Rubbed out by Sergei Shta. Round the boards it goes. Up into the netting, and that does it as well for the first period, as Canada has opened up a 2-0 lead over Belarus, and they'll be on the power play for another 1:41 when the second period resumes.
All right, thank you, Dave and Gary. And yes, when the satellite went down, obviously...
You did a good job, Rod. Thank you very much.
Everything charged up,
You're
Team
a good
Canada.
technician, son. I like the 2 goals, by the way, but you know what I like even as much is the discipline Canada's showing. They're not foregoing their game, the style they're playing, but they're playing smart, disciplined hockey. And how many years, Rod, have we kept yelling at them, when you go over to Europe, use discipline? Now the boys are.
Good start, Ryan Smith and Danny Heatley. The Thrashers scoring to make it 2-0 for Canada. Here's the goal. We'll be back with the first period intermission from the IIHF World Championship after this.
Welcome back to Turku. There's the Canadian bench, which is, of course, being run by Andy Murray, who you heard from in the first intermission.
And Vladimir Krikonov, who was the coach of Belarus in the Olympics in Salt Lake City. He had played for 18 years as a professional player in Russia. In fact, he played in the Super League. Also played for the national team and played for them when they played in the Canada Cup back in '76. A wealth of experience by Vladimir Krikonov.
Well, they no doubt talked about the penalty kill, as Canada will start on the power play for 1:31 here, as the penalty to Khmel continues. Anson Carter banks it off the end boards. Comrie's in there. Ryan Smith along the far side. Shane Doan and Dandino are along the points. Here's Dandino across the Doan. Has to get rid of it quickly with the pressure coming. Anson Carter on fresh ice here. Here's Comrie. Mike Comrie down low to Smith. Carter's in front. Smith back to Comrie. Comrie across to Dandino. Fires a shot. It didn't reach the net. Doan was in front of Shabanov and knocked it out of the air. Doan tries to go far side, but it comes out. And Comrie back to retreat. Here's Shane Doan with 51 seconds to go on the man advantage. Danny Heatley now out there for Canada up front. Doan right in. Shane Doan trying to make a move. In close. Can't get the shot away. Good chance there for Canada to make it 3-0.
Doan in just a little bit too tight, though. Ivanov was able to just kind of get in his way. Doan never really got great puck possession.
Steve Staios leaves it for the line for Heatley, who tried to feed Marleau, who is cutting towards the net. And Belarus manages to get it out. Here's Heatley, who has a goal in this game, along with Ryan Smith. In a 2-0 lead. Belarus short-handed here. This is Rozolko charging in there, taking his crack at the net. Only 3 shots on goal in terms of production for Belarus as it's offside at the line. 12-3 with the shots on goal in favor of Canada in the opening 20 minutes.
Heatley was looking to set Briere up, yet Briere ended up going offside. Briere with another good season. Traded to the Buffalo Sabres from the Phoenix Coyotes. He ended up with 24 goals, 34 assists. He also has a little bit of international experience. Played for Canada at the World Juniors back in '97.
Yeah, his second straight 60-point season in the NHL for Daniel Briere. Penalty is over. Team's back at even strength.
There are 5 players, though, for Team Canada that are playing for Canada in international hockey for the very first time. Dandenault, Maltby, Kalanis, Rivet.
Steve Staios is one of them as well, as he's got the puck now for Canada in his own zone.
That was only 4. The other player I should have mentioned is Sean Horkoff, playing for the first time with Team Canada.
Here comes Savalov in there, right into the slot, but it's taken away by Eric Brewer. Savalov persistent on this shift, chasing after it, trying to feed it into the slot. Quick shot on the way, short side. That was Strakov looking for some daylight there. Sean Burke giving him none. Steve Staios with some good work along the end boards. Draper now ties his man off. Strakov is hammered in there by Staios. The Edmonton Oilers blue liner goes far side and kept in by Belarus as they've got the pressure on here. Not getting many shots, but they'll take the pressure and build from there.
You know, one of the reasons why Belarus are able to get some. Oh, here goes an opportunity.
It's Draper. Draper's right in there. Tried to feed it in front to Horkov, but that was cut off nicely by Yesilov.
I was about to say one of the reasons Belarus were having an opportunity was the fact that Canada weren't skating. They weren't moving their feet out there.
John Horkov has Kolanos behind the net. Kyle Calder circling in front. There's Calder poking forward. Horkov's in there as well. Now all 3 Canadian forwards are in behind the Belarus goal. Here's Kolanos. Goes into the near corner. Craig Rivet steps up. Out it comes. And down the ice where this will be icing. And with that, we'll take a break. 3:29 gone in the second period. 2-0 Canada.
Here's the goal that started it all. Mike Comrie the shot, Ryan Smith the rebound. Couple of Oilers combining 1-0 Canada early in the first. Goal we missed because of the blackout. Back to Turku, Dave Randorf and Gary Green. Guys, thanks for getting that satellite working.
Well, we ran out to the back of the rink. And
I ran out the back of the rink and plugged it back in.
Yeah, I was going to, but I was having a drink of water. But regardless, we're back up and running. And again, we apologize for the technical difficulties. But everything seems to be in working order.
We talk about the abilities to teams to upset other teams, and here Belarus has got an opportunity.
Yesilov moving in, trying to go short side on Burke, missed the target, and Canada gets it out.
Well, the point that I was about to make is that we talked about that at the top of the show. And coaches tend to worry a little bit. What do you think Lou Vero and the U.S. team are thinking right now? Down 4-1 to Denmark.
Wow. That game, there are 3 different sites here at the Worlds. Helsinki, of course, where the semis and the gold medal game will take place. Here's Yesilov moving right in. Bouwmeester disrupted him just enough, but he's still got the puck. Yesilov trying to go high, short side, and again, he missed the mark. But Yehini Yesilov looking dangerous, the 26-year-old. There's another shot from Yesilov, having a great shift here, and Burke forced to make the save. They keep it in, but Rivet has it now for Canada. Far side to Ryan Smith, who fires it down the ice. Finish the thought. Helsinki, Tampere, and Turku are the 3 different sites here. Here's Vladimir Siplikov dancing over the line. Matthew Dandenault not being fooled by the moves. Shane Doan's in there as well. They get it off to Pankov. Centering pass didn't click as they were looking for Bekulatov. Siplikov with a little touch pass there to Savalov. And it comes back into the Belarus end. Long pass up there into the middle. Cut off by Canada. Again, as we mentioned, 2/3 of the Red Wings grind line reunited here in Finland. Draper, Maltby along with Shane Doan. 33, 19, and 18. All the numbers they wear in the National Hockey League with their respective clubs. Easy to keep track of there. Starosenko has it bounce off his skates. Flipped in on goal. Burke handles that very easily. Play back of the net now. The Canadian zone. It comes to the line and out.
Canada aren't exactly able right now to get possession of the puck and be in control of it. They're a little bit back on their heels, and I will point out one more time is that some of it is because they're just really not using their skating legs. In defensive Canada, they do tend to play to the level of the competition against them. They don't usually blow teams out at the World Championship. It's not at times that they couldn't, but they don't tend to.
That must be frustrating for you, Greener, because I've heard you talking about this for years on these broadcasts.
Is it respect? I don't know, but I know it frustrates coaches.
Here's a chance. Tarasenko right in. Big rebound, and they can't gather up the rebound on Alexeyev. Alexeyev, rather, had it on his stick, and it rolled off, and now Daniel Briere turns it back the other way with Heatley. Centers it for Heatley, and he just missed. Good opportunities at both ends there. Burke with a save, and here's Briere again to Heatley, one-timer. Rebound, and they can't make that go as well. Alexeyev gathers it up and fires it out, as Canada almost made it 3-0 with a couple of nice opportunities.
And when I say Canada at times shows some respect, too much respect, and I say that in the sense that they really have respect for the opponents as far as, you know, not wanting to embarrass them. That's where it comes to. And there's at times that they could just really bear down, take the body, shoot an awful lot more. There's some opportunities that Canada have had, but in all cases, not really bearing down.
Well, the old Oiler line is bearing down here. There's a good one-timer by Anson Carter off a nice feed from Mike Comrie. But Shabanov makes the save.
Anson Carter has just really been having good offensive seasons. He was second in scoring for the New York Rangers, once traded from the Edmonton Oilers, had a 60-point season, which matched his career high previously. 7th year in the National Hockey League. You got to like what Anson Carter brings to the international game. He's got good speed, he's got good discipline out there, and he's got goal-scoring abilities.
Anson Carter, another member of that 1997 gold medal winning team, as Belarus starts over the line. Strakov moves into the middle, puts one on net. Burke kicks that out after being forced to make a save from in close moments ago. Now with some room to move is Jay Bouwmeester. Look at the young 19-year-old go. Makes a nice move, fires it into the middle for Smith. Just missed him. Heward cranks one up. Misses the mark on the far side. Comes back to Bouwmeester, who's right back into position. Comrie fires one, hits a man in front.
You know, when Bouwmeester broke out of his own end, he actually had the abilities to hit Comrie with a long pass. But even for Bouwmeester, who has had some good international experience in the World Juniors, he wasn't thinking about the abilities to hit Comrie, who was way up at the blue line. He was thinking that would have been offside, so he skated the puck out instead.
Doesn't turn 20 years old until September. They're obviously very excited about the way he could develop down in South Florida.
Well, I'll tell you, he had a very good rookie season. He played in every game, and he just showed an awful lot more poise than most people thought that he would as such a young defenseman. The toughest position to probably break into the National Hockey League, except that of goal.
Maritsky now with it in his own corner for Belarus. Turns it over. Shot on the way from Maltby. It deflects into the corner, and Belarus gets it up and out to center ice, where Kirk Maltby takes over, leaves it for Steos. Cross-ice pass for Brewer, lead pass for Doan, who's immediately bumped off the puck, but Draper follows up. Can't get the shot away. The goaltender handles it. The forecheck is on again. Doan tries a centering pass that's tipped right back into the end boards. Here's Doan again. Doan with a puck. Far side now, back to the line for Brewer, who fires one right on. And a penalty call on the way. It's going to go against Belarus. Canada back on the power play when we come back.
They lost.
RBC Financial Group has developed the Toonie Toss fundraising program. Toss a toonie from the stands. One nearest the target wins great prizes. Proceeds go directly to your community hockey program. RBC Financial Group, premier sponsor of the CHA.
Tripping was the call against Radzitsky of Belarus, so Canada goes back on the power play, their second one of this period.
Meanwhile, I think Shane Doan thought that he was getting the penalty for goaltender interference when he bumped right into Shabanov.
Sometimes you never know. In the international game, the North American players have to get used to the calls that are being made and who's going and for how long and for what. You know, it's interesting. You heard Rod Black mention one of the games we'll show today on TSN, the Ducks and the Stars, 2 goaltenders, J.S. Jaguar and Marty Turco, who are in net for Canada at the Worlds this time last year. And what a story J.S. Jaguar obviously has been in this postseason back in the NHL playoffs. This power play is going nowhere so far as Danny Heatley gathers it up over center ice. Into the zone, Heatley's in there, tried to dish it off. Instead, he has it taken away from him, and here's a break. Starasenko trying to go wide on Brewer. And Eric Brewer was having none of that. Takes the puck away from Dmitry Starasenko.
You'd have to have super speed in order to beat Brewer on a one-on-one.
And I think Starasenko is getting frustrated here as Eric Brewer is playing a little personal game of keep away with him. Finally, Canada starts out with it. It's Heatley again, out to Carter, high slot, snaps one, just missed the mark.
Carter was in a perfect scoring position too.
Down the ice it goes, final 30 seconds to go in the Canadian power play. 10.5 minutes gone in the second period, 2-0 Canada in their first game of the 2003 Worlds. Over the line is Mike Comrie. Comrie going wide, end boards now, has it stripped by Urkovich, and out it comes.
Urkovich was an Edmonton Oiler draft pick. In fact, a 3rd rounder back in '97. Actually played with Hamilton in the American Hockey League, so kind of ironic that it was Comrie that he ended up stripping the puck off of.
And Urkovich plays for a club team right here in Turku. You saw the Belarusian player step out of the box. Team's back at even strength, so again another power play goes to the wayside for Team Canada. Near side now, this is Savalov with the puck. Banks into one of his teammates. It's Bekbulatov over the line. Trying to carry it around Steve Staios, who was supported there by Comrie. Comrie centers the puck. And around his own net was Maltby, getting it to Staios. As Canada regroups on the breakout and completes a line change, down the ice it goes. That will be icing. And with that, we'll take a break. 11:33 gone in the second here in Finland.
Coming up later today, 6 Eastern, Corey Warren takes us through a busy day in sports. Sports Center tonight.
McDonald's is a proud sponsor of the Canadian Hockey Association and a supporter of grassroots hockey through programs such as the McDonald's Skills Development Camps. McDonald's, premier sponsor of the CHA.
Face off to the right of Sean Burke, won by Belarus, back to the line. Makritsky fires a shot right in there, not a hard one for Burke to handle. And Canada gets it out, and they start out. That's Heward with Dandino out there. Again, Corey Cross is on the way. He'll arrive in Finland later today. You will see him very likely in the lineup tomorrow against Latvia, along with Steve Reinprecht of the Colorado Avalanche. Another player who's arriving later today. Nice job by Jamie Heward filling in the meantime, getting some ice time. Maltby now along the near boards. Kirk Maltby centers the puck. Heward was stepping up in the play there. Takes a backhand swipe at it, and out it comes.
Well, Jamie Heward will give you a real honest performance, and he knows the big ice surface out there, as I mentioned in the first period of play. He played for Geneva this year in the Swiss League. He also played for me when I coached Team Canada at the Sweden Games.
This season. Dandino flips it in there. Heward, a former first-round draft pick of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Here's Kolanos. He gets it in there. Down deep for Kyle Calder of the Chicago Blackhawks. He loses control, and Vladimir Siplikov tries to start out, but he's being hounded by Kolanos from behind, and they turn it over, and Bomeister will flip it in. Back of the net now. Nice little play there by Maritsky. It's in front. They were banging away at it. Calder was in there. Siplikov pokes it out. And Calder has it now for Canada. Kaliuzhny rides him into the boards. He gets it down low. Out of the corner now as Kolanos goes to the backhand. Nice save there by Shabanov. Kyle Calder with some good hard work along the end boards. Bomeister now and Calder. Here's Sean Horkoff. Horkoff with lots of time and lots of room. Kolanos was swooping in there looking for the one-timer, but the pass out front deflected out of the Belarus zone.
Canada trying to get in a quick line change here, but they've got to be careful because the puck was right over in front of Team Canada's bench.
13:48 gone here in this second period, where chances are really at a premium. There hasn't been a lot of great scoring opportunities here, Gary.
Well, for as much as these former Oiler players, in Anson Carter's case, are used to playing with each other, all three of them ended up colliding at some point in time with each other on this past shift.
Down low now, Smith and Carter playing a little give and go. Comrie's in front. Centering pass didn't get there. Cut off by Ole Kmiel of Belarus. Kept into the line by Brewer. Smith keeps it in there for Carter. Comrie's in front. Here's Brewer, takes a shot. Just misses far side. Staios now. They got a whole Edmonton connection out there with Brewer and Staios. And Comrie right in front. And the former Oiler, Anson Carter, looking for any possible rebound. None there.
Anson Carter also showing his abilities to take the body. I think maybe a little bit through frustration too, but Anson Carter knows that he's got to provide that leadership for Team Canada. They've got to get something going. That means skating, taking the body, shooting the puck every opportunity they get. In the second period, they have been, well, a little bit flat-footed at times. They haven't had the energy that they had even in the first period of play, but at the same time, they've got a comfortable two-goal lead, and defensively, they sure aren't giving Belarus much.
Kevin Lowe was under a lot of pressure when he made that trade with the Rangers, receiving Cross and Dvorak in return, two players who were front and center in a very tough, emotional series against the Dallas Stars.
And both of those players contributed a great deal. They both played extremely well when they came to the Edmonton Oilers, and so I think Kevin Lowe and his staff knew what they had to do, both from a financial standpoint and also from keeping the Oilers a good hockey club. And once again, they showed that they were a good hockey club, just not able to beat the Dallas Stars. And boy, does the Dallas Stars ever have their number. A little difference in payroll there.
Tarasenko now with it for Belarus. Chases it into Canada's end. He's pinned along the inboards by Dandino. It comes off the boards where Kovalev was looking for the rebound before Sean Burke poked it away. Down the ice it goes, where it's handled by Sergei Erkovich. Cross-ice pass to his teammate was cut off. Draper's back there. Here's Jurek. Up ahead to Savilov, who dumps it in. Bekbulatov chasing after it against Heward. And Maltby sends it back the other way in behind the Canadian goal around the near boards. Shane Doan lays the body. Draper almost broke away against Tarasenko. Burke back to handle it again, leaves it for Heward.
And Chris Draper definitely has that incredible breakaway speed. You see it in the National Hockey League, but when he gets this big ice surface out here, he just really flies. Look at him go now.
There he is, Chris Draper going wide, has Doan in the middle. Shane Doan chases it into the corner. Draper's in there as well, with Maltby circling around the high slot. Here's Staios at the point, keeps it in, gets it into the corner for Draper, who takes a bump for his efforts. And Zurich takes over, leaving it for Bekbulatov of Belarus. He's hit. Maltby flips it ahead. Eric Brewer had stepped up momentarily. And it's into the Belarus zone again with 16:34 gone in the second period. Zadalonov with a centering pass, and that one just trickled right across the open goal mouth. And that could have looked dangerous had Zadalonov caught up to that play for Belarus. Here's Zadalonov, centers the puck. Chupras was in there, and Chris Kolanos is starting back the other way. He's got Horkoff with him. Tried to center it for Sean Horkoff and couldn't get the pass there. Here's the centering attempt. Eric Brewer's up on the play. Yesilov manages to get it out for Belarus.
Not the obstruction rules here that there are in the National Hockey League. Kyle Calder was hooked all the way through the neutral zone, right to the Belarus net. He was some frustrated, I can tell you that.
Here's Kolanos now circling around, leaves it there for Heward. Jamie Heward fires a shot right on, and Shabanov has to make a nice save, and with that, we'll take a break from Finland.
High noon tomorrow Eastern, the Air Canada Cup National Midget Championship. Vic Rauter and Stan Butler. And it's in the Sioux. I'm with the former mayor of the Sioux here, Terry Crisp, as we send it back to Turku.
Should also take this time to congratulate Canada's under-18 team, coached by Mike Kelly. They ended up winning the gold this past week in Russia. What an accomplishment that was. So congratulations to Canada's under-18 team.
The senior team with dreams of gold here in Finland, the last site of their 1997 victory. Penalty call coming up, and this one is going to go against Team Canada.
Dandenault is the guilty man. Canada has been pretty disciplined in this game, though, when it comes to taking penalties, but you can see that Dandenault just was off balancing kind of carelessly, got his stick up in the air. So that's why the penalty is for high sticking. And Belarus will have an opportunity here in the power play, and they've had a little bit of zip this second period.
Clearing attempt, as you saw, was kept in at the line. Belarus keeps the pressure on, but here's a clearing attempt that they make no mistake on. High off the glass and out and all the way down. After the penalty there to Matthew Dandenault, and those are the calls. As you know from watching previous World Championships, that happens. Siplikov over the line, leaves it for Camille. Down low there is Kaliushny, number 71, gets it back to Camille. In front for Siplikov. Other point now. Here's Kaliushny into the middle for Pankov, and his shot is deflected up and over the net. Vladimir Siplikov now. Guy with 300 games of NHL experience, parked along the far boards, trying to pass across the ice that eventually reached Camille.
And actually, Siplikov played for Andy Murray in Los Angeles. Siplikov played for Los Angeles as well as the Buffalo Sabres, but Andy Murray was the coach when Siplikov was there.
Last in the NHL in the 2000-2001 season with the Sabres. Kaliushny now. Near side, down low, back to the line for Stah, who winds up and fires a shot that's well off the mark. Kept in far side by Urkovich. Number 13 is Kovalev, a guy who can score some goals for Belarus. Their leading goal scorer. Down low, Kovalev's in front, Stah's helping out. Kovalev took a whack at it, and Canada gets it out.
You see the way that both teams actually kill penalties. Canada back in their own end will stay to that more disciplined box. They won't be as aggressive as you would see these players play in the National Hockey League, and that has something to do, of course, with the size of the ice. You want to make sure that you protect that area in front of Sean Burke, so you tend to collapse in front of him, not allowing the shooters to get an opportunity to step into the best scoring position. And also, if the shots are from the perimeter, then making sure that the rebounds are clear.
Well, a Belarusian coach knows this is a nice opportunity to cut the lead in half here. Canada has had a couple of power plays in the second period alone. Both of them killed off by Belarus. However, this one is going to go to the wayside as well in the final seconds here. The penalty to Dandenault. And this will do it. Dandenault is stepping back out onto the ice right now. Team's back at even strength. One power play goal in the game. It came in the first period by Ryan Smith. Here's Anson Carter trying to step around Sergei Stah. He flips it in, and he'll head to the bench. Patrick Marleau now in on Starasenko, bumps him off the puck. Heatley now with some support, helping out Marleau, who's knocked off his feet. Face-off coming up in the Belarus zone.
Well, Canada has played well enough in this second period to protect a 2-0 lead. At the same time, they've got enough veteran experience here and enough National Hockey League experience, of course, to know that this is a long 2-week tournament. And so against Belarus, as long as they win this hockey game, that's what's important in the preliminary round. The goaltender, actually, for Belarus is out of the... The Canadian goaltender, I should say, is out of the net in favor of the extra attacker with the face-off deep in Belarus's end zone. Good move by Andy Murray.
There was just a couple of ticks left on the clock. He felt, why not give it a go? And the second period ends with a little pushing and shoving and a 2-0 Canadian lead here in Turku, Rod.
Terry Crisp, Belarus had a couple of opportunities. If not for Sean Burke, this game could be a lot closer and maybe even in favor right now after that second period.
Well, like Greener said, he said it's a long 2 weeks and Canada doesn't want to shoot the whole bolt in the one period. But hey, boys, Sean Burke can only do so much for you. Don't leave it the whole game for him. Let's get our act back together, guys. Come on.
Canada leads 2-0 through 2 periods in Turku, Finland. We'll take a look back at what we saw in the second period when we come back. A hard-hitting affair right now at the Worlds.
Thank you very much, Rod Black. Welcome back, everyone. Canada takes the 2-0 lead into the third period in their opening game against Belarus. No scoring in the second period. Sean Burke is yet to allow a goal, as he is once again between the pipes for Team Canada. A very common sight this time of year.
And he wasn't asked to play for Team Canada. He asked Team Canada whether or not he could play. He phoned Steve Tambellini and asked, before the regular season of the National Hockey League was over, knowing full well Phoenix would be out of the playoffs, whether or not he would be considered. How could you not consider him?
Well, no doubt the call was likely coming, but he just beat him to the punch. As Draper moves in, Chris Draper tries to snap one. Sergei Stav plays him nicely. Shane Doan follows up. He's in the far corner and has it taken away by Siplikov. Vladimir Siplikov dancing over the line, leaves it for Pankov, who fires it in there. Draper now has it bank off a skate. Stav fires one that's deflected high and wide, as Belarus, with a fresh ice, apply a little bit of pressure of their own, looking for their first goal of the game. Maltby now. Can't reach that one. Down the ice it goes. No icing, which was waved off. Shabanov plays it into the far corner, and it's met there by Comrie, who gets it down low to Ryan Smith. Smith being watched by Alexeyev. And out comes Belarus. Starasenko with it. He'll dump it in. Burke out to handle it. Far side now is Rozolko, number 37 for Belarus. Little give and go with his teammate Kovalev. Kovalev couldn't return the favor on the play, and out comes Canada as Bouwmeester steps up, feeds Comrie. Here comes Mike Comrie. Comrie's in, scores! Mike Comrie with some nice finish, and it's 3-0 Team Canada.
Well, Mike Comrie got it going for Team Canada, and I'm sure that the players talked about it in the dressing room in the second intermission, knowing full well that they didn't play a great second period. And Sean Burke, as Rod Black and Terry Crisp were talking about, was there to make the saves when he was called upon. But Mike Comrie, when he got the opportunity, he came in on his forehand side and found the room. There you saw it from that angle. What a great shot by Comrie. He just roofed it right up above Shabanov. As he went down, Mike Comrie went upstairs with a great shot.
Mike Comrie, playing at the Worlds for Canada for the second consecutive year, has given the Canadians a 3-0 lead in the very early stages of the third period against Belarus. Canada will play Latvia tomorrow and then face the Swedes here on Tuesday. Centering pass by Belarus. Bekbulatov tried to turn and fire a shot, but it went into the corner.
Mike Comrie will be a better player for Team Canada this year than he was even last year. Last year was his first opportunity to play for Team Canada. He played in Sweden. He had a goal and a couple assists in the 7 games, but when I talked to him during the World Championship and then right after, he pointed out that what an incredible learning experience, and he was so shocked by the level of play. And it's something that all players find out when they come to the World Championship. I was really disappointed in Ty Domi from the Toronto Maple Leafs comments this week when he suggested that how could players possibly come over and play for their team at the World Championship after they had been beaten out. Well, I'll tell you what, Ty, it's an incredible experience, and you should come over here and watch it because it is a magnificent hockey event. And every player that has come here, as Pat Quinn said, has become a better player for doing so.
Belarus with some pressure now. No shots landed on the net, however. That's some very controversial comments by Ty Domi, who was obviously disappointed about being eliminated from postseason competition, but some real
and that's
detrimental
fine. Be disappointed, but don't criticize other players that decide to play for their country once their season has ended in the National Hockey League.
The comments really were a big slap in the face to not only hockey players, but athletes in any sport.
Well, his own teammates. I mean,
yeah.
Matt Sundin is over here playing for his country, Sweden.
Peter Forsberg, Milan Hajduk, a lot of big names, Saku Koivu, Teemu Solani. They're very excited about the Finns' chances here. They'll play here in this rink. We'll get a good look at them playing the Czech Republic on Wednesday. Shane Doan now battling for the puck along the near side where Sergei Sta has it taken away there by Kaliushny, and out comes Belarus. Kaliushny over the line, stops, fires a shot right on, handled by Burke, who doesn't seem to be, he's handling every shot quite easily out there. He seems to be really composed and ready no matter where the shots are coming from.
I want to go back on one more point, is that if you've got an opportunity, your season's over, and that's disappointing. But what's better, coming to the World Championship and playing for your country, or going to the golf course or the cottage early? I think that's obviously an answer that's quite obvious to everyone.
Briere in there, set to take the draw against Starasenko. Briere wins the draw. Starasenko charges back of the net. It comes to the line, kept in by Urkovic. Urkovic did not have a shooting lane with Heatley bearing down on him, so he dumped it deep. Here's Jamie Heward now. A guy who loved the opportunity, but he turns it over here, and Sean Burke is called upon to make a save in close after the turnover by Heward.
3 Pacific, Corey Warren takes you through the day in sports. Busy golf day, busy hockey day. Sports Center later today with Corey Warren.
Sean Burke made the save as Jamie Heward had been hooked from behind and ended up giving up the puck to Kovalev. Jamie Heward, as others in this building, thought that Kovalev should have had a hooking penalty, but nevertheless, Sean Burke was there, as he has been all game long, to make the save.
Here's Kovalev bearing in again. That time Heward took the puck away from him before he could get a shot away, and now they're battling for it behind the net. Now the battle has been handed off to Starasenko and Dandino. Starasenko kicks it ahead, where Marlowe was battling for it. Number 24, Dmitry Starasenko, with the hard work there along the near boards. Finally, the pressure is relieved by Canada. Marlowe tries to center the puck. Alexeyev pushed him off a bit, and out it comes.
And good for Andy Murray and his coaching staff, too. They didn't take Heward off the ice right away when he gave that puck up. They left him out to kind of redeem himself.
And he did, immediately off the faceoff. Steve Stales tries a one-timer. It's deflected up into the air, into the near corner. Kopat now for Belarus, gets it cross ice now to his partner. Long pass looking for Bekbulatov. Bekbulatov will have to chase that one. Eric Brewer just missed with the body check there. It's Bekbulatov turning and firing one across the goal mouth. And out it comes. The backup goaltender, by the way, today for Team Canada is Roberto Luongo. And Martin Biron is the other goaltender here for Team Canada. Steve Tamiliti, the man who put this team together, is very excited about the group of goalies he's been able to bring over here to Finland.
He should be. It may be the best goaltending trio that Team Canada has ever had at the Worlds, and they've had some great ones.
Chypras doing some work along the near boards. Finally ran out of gas. Brewer took it away from him. It remains in deep, though, in the Canadian zone. Here's Anson Carter now. He can't get it out of there. And they'll start again from their own end. Steve Staios with it. Long pass up the center ice for Ryan Smith, scooped up by Carter. Carter tries to move around Siplikov, has to stop and turn, waiting for the trailer. Bomeister was just a few seconds too late to get the outlet pass to him. And Rivet gets it deep in back of the Belarus goal.
I wouldn't have been surprised if the coaching staff had pointed out to the players in the second intermission that the USA lost to Denmark 5-2, just to keep their kind of attention that anybody can beat anybody.
Here's Pankov looking for the wraparound attempt, puts it on net, and Kaliushny came very close there. As more pressure from Belarus is happening here. Finally, Canada gets it out. And that first goal there of this third period in the early stages by Comrie did relieve a little bit of pressure, because while Canada has outplayed them on the shot clock, the game was still close. Here's Siplikov. Vladimir Siplikov now dancing around. He'll fire a shot off somebody's legs and into the boards area. Kyle Calder trying to get free. He gets it out, but it hops over the stick of Sean Horkov. Pankov now 1 against 3 while Belarus was on line change.
Even with the closeness of play, Canada's done a pretty good job of just kind of maintaining their defensive posture back in their own end. They haven't really got themselves into too much trouble. And most of the shots that have come from Belarus have really come from the perimeters, and Sean Burke has been able to handle them rather easily. He did have a couple of tough saves to make in the second period of play.
19-7 was the shots on goal total through 40 minutes of play in favor of Canada, obviously. And you're right, you've never really had the feeling that Belarus was in charge here for any long stretch of time. But when a game remains 2-0 for that long, Greener, as you said off the top of our show, anything can happen. But it's now 3-0, a little more breathing room for Canada. And they're back in there. That was Horkoff, or Maltby, sidestepping a check, and out they come. Rozolko with a pass to the wing, gets it back. Rozolko trying to dance in against Heward. Shot was right on off the deflection. Burke handled that. Seems to be pretty sharp today, Sean Burke. Icing is the call, and we'll take a break. You're watching the 2003 World Hockey Championships on TSN.
Team Canada cruising along. Did you expect anything different, though? Dan O'Toole with the Sports Center newsroom. Next edition of our show coming at 11:30 Eastern. Here's some of the stories that we're following. Of course, NHL Stanley Cup playoffs and the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. Game 2 against the Stars. In overtime, they do it again. Mike Leclerc, the winner. Ducks take it 3-2. They're leading the series 2 games to none. They haven't lost a game yet. Game 2, Lightning Devils. This one also in overtime. Jamie Langenbrunner, the former Peterborough Pete, wins it for the Devils. They jump ahead 2-0 with a 3-2 win there. Baseball action. Astros and Expos. Jose Macias facing Billy Wagner. He'll take the heater deep to left. Gonzo, first of the season solo shot. Expos win 3-2 in extras. Coming up on SportsCenter at 11:30 Eastern. NHL playoffs, highlights and reaction. NBA postseason play and NFL draft news. More from the World Hockey Championships right after this.
St. Marie with Vic Rauter and Stan Butler.
Well, Canada have been able to, so far, keep the puck out of the net, and that's important as this tournament goes on. Defensive play is extremely important. Canada in the past have at times had lapses over their years at the World Championship, but this team is a pretty conscientious team at knowing how important play in their own end is. And today, even at times when they haven't had the greatest of amounts of energy, they have also maintained, though, at least their defensive posture in their own end. Positionally, it's important that you do that with this big ice surface.
Playing behind the Canadian end as they're getting a lot of practice at play in their own end right now on this shift. They turn it over again as Strakov turns and fires it right back where it came from. Burke out to handle it.
But that's such a key. I mean, everybody's got to maintain their own position out there, and you start running around and trying to do the other guy's job. That's when you get into trouble in your own end.
Daniel Briere flipped it in there. Patrick Marleau rubs out his man back of the net. And out it comes to center ice for Jay Bouwmeester. Cross ice pass now for Rivet. Our Steve Stales far side, beg your pardon, and Stales will head to the bench, and Rivet will come out to join his defensive partner, Jay Bouwmeester. Play at center ice now, taken over by Canada. There's Bouwmeester into the middle for Mike Comrie. Comrie with Ryan Smith, giving a little tug from behind, but not enough to draw a penalty. Radzinski sends it around the boards where it's met there by Chipris. Yaroslav Chipris was spun around and turns the puck over. Canada with possession now at center ice. Long pass from Bouwmeester up to Comrie. The connection that led to the goal early in the third period just missed. And this one's coming all the way back down the ice after icing.
Two Edmonton boys looking for each other. Not playing for the Edmonton Oilers, both of them, but both hailing from Edmonton, Alberta. Jay Bouwmeester playing at a very young age in the National Hockey League in a very tough position. And especially when you're playing on a team that's in the lower echelon of the National Hockey League. More time spent back in your own end.
Bouwmeester also playing here at the Worlds at a young age. He's the 6th youngest player to ever suit up for Canada. Here's Draper right in. Nice save by Shabanov. As Draper was in cold, you can see that speed that he's got that we know all about. And it was almost 4-0, but credit the Belarusian goaltender for staring him down.
That's what makes Chris Draper such a valuable member to Team Canada. Whenever he has been asked to play for Team Canada, he has never turned them down. And he loves the big ice surface. But boy, his speed is so crucial to Canada's success.
Look at Bouwmeester. He's rushed the puck very nicely today.
He didn't do that a lot in the early stages of the National Hockey League. Then Mike Keenan started to give him a little bit more rope, and he started to feel a little bit more comfortable. And I think it was a good game plan on Keenan's part, kind of keeping him back, more poised defensively in the first half of the NHL schedule until he got used to it.
Chris Kalanos taken off his feet. Calder follows up on the play, but Urkovich comes out with it. Lead pass for Belarus, trying to feed Kovalev, but nice defensive work on the back check by Kalanos. However, apparently it was a little too close, and we are going to have an interference call against Chris Kalanos, and Belarus will have a power play here at the midway point of the third period.
Coming back in the neutral zone, and Kalanos trying to stay with his man, but at the same time, I think he got that stick kind of wrapped up right in the midsection of Kovalev, and as a result, it looked probably worse than it was.
You know, that's the funny thing about international hockey is I was just saying nice work by Kalanos based upon what I guess we're more accustomed to seeing, but here it's a penalty. Not saying it's wrong, it's just what you become used to watching National Hockey League games and hockey in North America. Canada fires it down the ice. The opening seconds of this Belarus power play. They had one earlier in the period that was killed off. Rozolko gains the zone, but not for long. Out they come. It's Draper again. He and Maltby, great penalty killers for the Detroit Red Wings in the National Hockey League.
And Maltby, a short-handed goal specialist.
Yeah.
Chris Draper as well, but Maltby ended up with 4 this year.
He's always amongst the league leaders in short-handed goals, isn't he?
He's had 15 of them in his career.
Strakov now carries it in for Belarus into the corner now. It comes back to Jurek, number 27 for Belarus. Nice pass across the ice for Savilov, who just fanned on a one-time opportunity. It was a nice pass right into his wheelhouse, and he couldn't make it click. So Belarus will have to start out again. Savilov with a lead pass to Bekbulatov. Into the middle, and out it goes. With 49 seconds to go in the penalty to Kalanos.
Shane Doan just turned that puck over and then just threw it all the way down the ice. Not even close to a Belarus player.
Kaliushny was a step ahead, or a step behind, I should say, his teammates offside at the line.
I mentioned at the top of the show that this team makeup of Belarus has got some fair experience in it. 14 of the players played for their Olympic team that was a surprising Olympic team, beating Sweden and ending up in the semifinals. They also have 9 players that play professional hockey in North America. Some of their players, in fact, have played junior hockey in the Canadian Junior Hockey League.
Well, it's the dying seconds of a power play opportunity as Chupras danced over the line, had it poked away from him momentarily. Yesilov keeps it in there. Around the net it goes. And out on the clearing attempt by Craig Rivet. Relieving the pressure with just mere seconds left in the penalty. Maybe time for one last opportunity for Belarus. Not going to get it. The Canadian player steps back out onto the ice. Kalanos is out there, and team's back at even strength.
Good play, too, by Craig Rivet. He just stepped right up on that play and was able to cut it down and then was able to throw the puck down to kind of end the Belarus power play opportunity.
Here's Heatley. Saw some open ice, had it roll off his stick just a little bit. Danny Heatley following up, going around the net. Meal rolls him off the puck. And here is Zadalonov getting it to Khmel. Kept in by Heward, fires a shot that's deflected and ends up on the net. Shabanov handles that. Play along the far boards, cleared by Chupras. As Matthew Dandino chases it down the ice for an icing call. 13 minutes gone in the third. 3-0 Canada in Finland. a 7-hour time difference between here and Eastern time zone in North America. So that game will be 4 o'clock local, as it was today here in Turku.
Tomorrow will be a little wilder, though. The Latvian fans are large in numbers. Last year, they brought 7,000 to Sweden for the World Championship, and I beg to differ whether or not they've got any less this year.
Yeah.
They're filling half of this building here today.
The Latvian team plays tonight, a few hours from now, at least 3 hours from now here in Turku, and they're already out here.
Oh, they're well oiled and ready for tonight's game, believe me.
Yeah, I've bumped into a couple of them. I don't know if they knew that they bumped into me or not, but they're ready to go for the game tonight. And we'll see them and their team tomorrow on TSN. Turnover again in the Canadian zone. Mike Comrie there to avert any scoring opportunity for Belarus. Dandino now can't gather it up. Here's Ryan Smith wearing the C once again for Team Canada. He can't chip it away either. Belarus keeping the pressure on. Vladimir Siplikov tries to move around Dandino. He gets some help there from his teammate Kaliushny. Kaliushny now with Comrie watching him. Cuts towards the front of the net, has it taken away. However, Comrie got a little too close to Kaliushny, and another Belarus power play is on the way with less than 6 minutes to go in this hockey game.
Pulled the feet right out from underneath of Kaliushny. Yeah, he was close all right. Mike Comrie is heading to the penalty box. I think over time, Mike Comrie will find that he's just will be a very successful international hockey player. He's a very successful National Hockey League player, but he's not big in stature, but boy, he's got a great appreciation for finding the open ice. He's got good wheels out there, can really skate and handle the puck, and as we've seen today, he's also got a great shot.
Here's Urkovich now, Sergei Urkovich for Belarus. Big defenseman for the Belarusians. Handling the puck along the far side, try to feed it into the middle for Starasenko. Turned it over and Canada gets it out. Look at Steve Stales charging out of there. Followed up by Draper with Stales trapped in the zone.
Stales played last year for Team Canada when they were in Sweden for the World Championship. And as I mentioned earlier, Steve Staios was the defenseman of the year for the Edmonton Oilers. Just had a really solid season. Last year, he ended up scoring a goal for Canada in the World Championship.
Belarus wins the draw. They'll control it off the face-off with a minute and a half to go in their power play. This is Alexeyev. Alexander Alexeyev gets it to Rozolko. Rozolko back into the middle for Starasenko. Centering pass looking for Urkovich, and here's a break for Canada. It's Horkoff and Shane Doan. Doan's right in there. Oh, and he rang it off the post. Shabanov got a piece. And then it hits the iron and out.
But by the time Doan got the puck, he was once again in too close. The effort was there. Boy, did he ever take off. He was looking for that opportunity to get a little bit of open space in order to receive that pass, but then he found himself kind of right in on top of Shabanov.
Shane Doan coming close, short-handed. Now here's Belarus charging in there. As Siplikov thought he was in cold, Anson Carter coming back the other way. Leaves it for Stales, who wires a shot right on net. And Shabanov made a couple of decent saves here today. Keeping it close, and we are going to have another penalty call coming up here as Anson Carter rubbed Shabanov on his way by, so Canada is going to be 2 men short here for 37 seconds.
Charging on the goalie. Okay.
Okay.
We don't have to repeat it. You heard it. Carter just got a piece of Shabanov as he was headed for the puck. Shabanov was out. And there's that opportunity previously that Shane Doan had, as I talked about. He was just in so close. He was looking to go upstairs, but really didn't have much room to go there.
A couple of former Oiler teammates sit in the box. Comrie's penalty will be done in 35 seconds now. So a 5-on-3 opportunity for Belarus, but a lot of the recent chances have come short-handed for Team Canada. Meal now gets it far side for Kaliushny. Back to the line. Here's Sta. Sta over to Khmil. Ole Khmil turns, gets it down low for Kaliushny. Kaliushny tries the centering pass. Good chance in there for Pankov. And his shot just missed the mark. Mike Comrie set to step back out onto the ice. Face-off coming up to the left of Sean Burke. With just 1 second to go in the penalty to Comrie. 1:24 left in Carter's penalty.
I must say, those pads of Sean Burke that he has for the Phoenix Coyotes couldn't match better with his Team Canada outfits.
Those aren't his...
What, do you think he brought special Team Canada pads with
You
him?
can't tell me he wears those pads in Phoenix.
Look at them. Absolutely.
They're Canada colors. We'll ask him that. Down the ice it goes. Comrie's back out on the ice. So 1:13 to go in the power play, which is now 5-on-4. Rozolko carries it in, gets it back to Urkovic, who fires a shot, blocked in front by Eric Brewer and cleared by Team Canada. What should we bet? Dinner here in Finland on Burke's pads?
Well, I think if you look at them, though, that's green. That's kind of a dark green color, not a black.
There's no
color.
red in the Phoenix jerseys. I think you're going to...
Just giving you a hard time, Dave, and enjoying it immensely.
You've been doing that ever since we got on the plane.
And I got 2 more weeks with you, too.
Okay.
So strap on your seatbelt.
Canada ragging the puck a little bit here as we're in the dying moments of what will be Canada's first win here at the Worlds 2003. Again, Latvia is on the schedule tomorrow, so back-to-back games. Speaking of Sean Burke, will he be in the net tomorrow, or will it be Roberto Luongo? We'll have to wait and see, as this is a long haul. Kopat keeps it in for Belarus. Not for long. Dying seconds of the power play here as Anson Carter is set to step back out onto the ice. Into the middle now. Play broken up there by Jamie Heward. Penalty is over. Team's back at even strength with under 2.5 minutes to go in the hockey game. Jamie Heward waits for things to set up in front of him.
Absolutely. Jamie Heward just waiting for fresh legs to get on the ice for Team Canada. And now they will have their controlled breakout.
It's Briere leading the charge, stepping up towards the blue line and flipping it in there for Danny Heatley, and Calder, who's back there as well. Calder's taken off his feet. Heatley heads into the corner, but Belarus comes up with it. Taken off the boards there, far side by Alexander Maritsky. Canada takes over in their own end. It's Briere again. What do you see so far today in terms of their breakout? What are they trying to accomplish
you know something,
systematically?
Quite honestly, they haven't had any pressure in their own end when they have had possession of the puck. Belarus have kind of pulled out very quickly to trap, and so Canada's had a pretty easy time on their controlled breakout. Just able to really skate it out as Briere did on that last shift.
We have seen a lot of that from Briere, from Bouwmeester, from Steve Stais.
It will get tougher, believe me.
Play along the end boards now as we're nearing 1 minute to go here in regulation. It remains back of the Canadian goal with Eric Brewer fighting for it along with Heatley.
And Brewer is just able to eat the puck. He's just so big and strong.
Delayed penalty coming up, and this one's going to go against Belarus. Holding call against Heatley. One of the Belarusians. Was it Chupras? Looks as though it is. Yaroslav Chupras will go for the hold. And Canada, with just under a minute to go here, will finish the game on the power play.
Between Brewer and there you see Heatley being held. But between Brewer and Heatley, they were just kind of eating up time on the clock as they were eating the puck along the boards, controlling it, stopping it from being turned over and coming out in front of Sean Burke. They're trying to protect this shutout for Sean Burke. And right now in the power play, they should be able to easily accomplish that with less than 45 seconds remaining.
Canada has never lost to Belarus in 8 previous meetings. This will be the 9th. The closest Belarus has come is a tie, and that was way back in 1993. They won't lose this one either, as Team Canada opens up this 2003 World Championship with a win that they were expected to get. Back of the net now is Draper. Chris Draper skates out, gets it back to the line. Reve immediately puts it over to Bouwmeester, who flips it on goal. Shane Doan got a piece, but not enough as it's cleared down the ice. And you're looking at a goaltender there who will open up the tournament with a 3-0 shutout victory. Canada's first step is taken here at the 2003 World's 3-0 final.
Well, Canada got their job done. It wasn't necessarily pretty, and it wasn't by any means their best effort. But at the same time, they played well enough to win. Belarus gave them a competitive game. They will only get better, I'm talking about Canada, as this tournament goes on. And today was a good game for Sean Burke, starting off with a shutout.
Belarus, the game is over. Latvia is next. As we send you back to the studio, here again is Rod Black.
Thank you very much. Alongside Terry Crisp, I guess rather predictable. We said it would be kind of a slow start for Canada in terms of unity, but the goal scorers scored. They found the net, the guys who can put the puck in the net, and Sean Burke did his job.
Did what he had to do, and as Greener just said, he said, well, didn't have to be pretty, but they got the job done early. And let's face it, Rod, out there, okay, first game, get used to the ice service, which they were doing pretty good. Get used to no red line, by the way. You can cheat, cherry pick, go on down through there. And the second one was get used to the referees, okay?
What is that thing on the back of their
It's not a clown suit. You keep calling it a clown suit. It's got to be an advertisement, and you know it is. You're lobbing those snowballs up again, aren't you?
All right, well, who does Andy Murray go to tomorrow?
You know what? Give Luongo a game. It's early in the series, and Sean Burke, they declared he's their #1 goalie. They're going to go with him. He's going to see lots of action. Give it to Luongo.
We'll find out more as we get back to Turku for some post-game wrap-up. We'll talk more about this 3-0 victory. Take a look at the goal by Mike Comrie. A couple of Oilers finding the net today for Team Canada at the World Hockey Championship. NHL hockey lives here. Playoff hockey later today, 2:30 Eastern, doubleheader. Mighty Ducks against the Dallas Stars. 5 overtimes in Game 1. Wow. Lightning against Devils in the other matchup. Edmonton fans would love to have their Oilers still around, but some consolation is that they get to watch their Oilers stars compete for Team Canada at the Worlds, and one of the stars for the Oilers was one of the stars for Canada today. He's with Dave Randorf.
Thanks very much, guys. I'm here with Mike Comrie. A goal and an assist in Canada's opening 3-0 victory against Belarus. Let's get your comments on how you thought that game went, Mike.
Well, it went well. You know, we played well defensively, didn't make too many mistakes, and you know, in the big ice surface, it's a little new for us. We haven't played it for very long, so it's it's exciting, but it's a learning experience.
That's always an issue for all the NHLers that come over, adjusting immediately to the big ice and also coming together as a team. What kind of team-building things did you do heading into this first game in the short period of time that you've been together?
Well, as Canadians, you know, we know one another from playing against each other most of the year, so it doesn't take us too long to get to know each other off the ice, and we did some team building stuff. We went go-karting as a team, and you know, had some fun when go for to eat, and it's when you're over here the whole time you're always with your teammates, so it's easy to gel, and as Canadians, you know, we always come together fast.
I imagine you didn't have a hard time gelling with the line mates you have out there. Ryan Smith, you know very well, and Anson Carter up until, I guess, about a couple of months ago. You played with him a lot at Edmonton.
Yeah, it's nice to be back with those two guys. Smitty and I didn't finish the season off together, so it was nice to get back with him. Always fun playing with him, and Anson is he's a great player and always a threat on the ice. And he out here he sees the ice very well and is able to move the puck.
Well, good job out there for your team and yourself. Nice goal you scored. Congratulations on today, and good luck tomorrow against Latvia.
Thanks, Dave.
Back to you guys.
Secret must be go-karting. Imagine how many more games you would have won had you taken your team out go-karting.
I'd only gone go-karting, I'd still be coaching.
Interesting to have Anson Carter reunited. He talked about playing against players, but also playing with, and now they're playing with the guy they used to play with, now they play against. But having Anson Carter on that line was a big factor. You
know, anytime you know a player play with a guy for a while and go on over there, it's got to help. Plus, these guys, all three of these guys are quick hockey players, smart hockey players. Like, I mean, you can throw anybody with these fellas and they're going to play together out there and play well. So for them to go back together and do what they did, hey, not a big surprise. They should do that. That's what they're expected to do. Why let them off the hook? There's my tirade.
You got to come out of your shell a little bit. A good hockey moment for Canada today. Looking for a great hockey moment a couple of weeks down the road. Maybe another gold medal at the World Championships. This nation, of course, has produced many memorable moments through the years.
Has it on that wing. Here's a shot. Henderson made a wild stab towards Bell. Here's another shot. Right by the score. Henderson has scored for Canada. Henderson right in front of the net. And the fans of the team are going wild. The first game, now Esposito fires it back. And Henderson comes up right in the net. Tried to slide it back to the goal. The game is over. And Canada have won the series. They defeated the Soviets 6-5.
Gretzky down the left boards along with McKechnie. Gretzky controlling it. Inside the blue line. Gretzky getting set. He shoots. He scores! Just a one-man show, Wayne Gretzky.
Well, what a move. Here's a 16-year-old hockey player that's got the brains of a 30-year-old pro.
It's Gretzky on his way out of his own end, leading the rush himself. Gretzky still with that puck. Good move as he hits the line. And gets it again. Gretzky getting set. Oh, what a move. Gets set in front of the net. Shoots. Oh, incredible.
Oh, what a goal. We should put this one in the Hall of Fame.
Howardson puts it in. Here's Lemieux poking at the center. Lemieux ahead to Gretzky. It's Murphy with it on a 2-on-1 to Lemieux. He scores.
That lucky Looney on the ice, stuff of legends, and 50 years since the last Olympic gold medal. Canada then went to the World Championships last year in a bit of a letdown, wanted to make it a double gold, and of course finished in 6th place, getting off to a good start against Belarus. And we saw some of that. Remember that Canada played Belarus in the semifinals in the Olympic hockey tournament last year.
That's right, exactly they did. But did you like the uniforms out there they showed on us and what was doing out there?
That Gretzky one.
Plus, if you're going to do this, the one thing you don't want to be the goalie. Why do they kill the goalie out there? Every big win, they want to kill the goaltender.
What was the biggest moment, Henderson's goal or the 2002 Olympic gold?
Okay, toughie, but good one. I like it. I'm going for Henderson. I'm staying with Henderson.
All right, there you go. Don't forget, Sports Center later today. Highlights of this game and the NHL games on tap today. Corey Warren, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific time. We're back tomorrow morning. Canada plays Latvia, second game at the World Championship, 8:50 a.m. Eastern, 5:50 a.m. Pacific. So Terry Crisp, get to bed early tonight. For Gary Green, Dave Randorf, and Terry Crisp, this is Rod Black. Canada wins the opener. Sean Burke, the shutout. Heatley and Comrie and Smith, the goals. Out of the blocks at the IIHF World Hockey Championships. You've been watching TSN, Canada's sports leader.